If Project Foobelt was the loud, violent manipulation of government, Project Palladium was its silent technical opposite. This was the quiet, patient war fought by engineers, physicists, and signals intelligence analysts in the world's most desolate and hostile environments. Project Palladium is the umbrella term for the U.S. intelligence community's assessment of covert, unattended remote sensor stations, often disguised as simple weather monitoring equipment, deployed by foreign powers in denied areas such as the Canadian Arctic, remote islands, or deep under the ocean. These stations were intelligence gold mines. They listened for submarine movements, tracked seismic activity, and intercepted communications, and their existence was a massive technical puzzle for the CIA and DIA. We will use the CIA RDP 90 series memos, which detail technical intelligence assessments to dissect this silent conflict. This is the story of the perfect self-sustaining listening post and the documented U.S. efforts to hunt them down. The operational necessity for unattended platforms during the Cold War was simple: denied access. Both the U.S. and Soviets needed to monitor military activity, particularly submarine deployments and intercontinental ballistic missile tests, in regions where deploying human agents was impossible, such as deep oceans, the Arctic, or remote Siberian frontiers. The challenge was power. A simple battery pack would fail in days. Solar power was useless in the Arctic winter. The solution employed by the Soviets and later analyzed by the U.S. under this project was a highly specialized self-contained power source: radioisotope thermoelectric generators, or RTGs. The RTG threat. An RTG generates heat and electricity from the decay of radioactive material, often strontium-90. It can power a small sensor array for years, maintenance-free, a perfect heart for a silent spy. The initial technical assessment of a discovered foreign station is documented in document CIA RDP 90 0078 R00010001-4 Technical Intelligence Memo. Here's a quote. The platform utilizes a confirmed radioisotope heat source to achieve continuous operation over a minimum of 6 calendar years without external maintenance. The power source signature is minute but persistent, allowing for potential long-range detection. This confirmed the threat: a persistent, self-powered for-intelligence asset operating in silence. Project Palladium became an exhaustive engineering exercise to determine what exactly these stations were listening for and how they transmitted their data. The CIA and the DIA analysts were tasked with reverse engineering the enemy's silent spy network. 1. Signals and acoustic intelligence. The primary function was to monitor military signatures, specifically the stations utilizing hydrophones to listen for submarine propeller, cavitation, and seismic sensors to track missile and major ground test. A Palladium technical analysis brief confirmed the purpose. Quote, the detected sensor array configuration indicates a primary objective of acoustic signature acquisition, specifically the tracking of naval assets operating under redacted classification protocols. Secondary capability includes low-frequency ELF-VLF communications intercept. 2. The power signature risk. The radioactive core was both the greatest strength and the greatest weakness. The heat generated by the RTG, while small, could sometimes be detected by specialized airborne infrared sensors. Furthermore, if damaged or leaking, the radioactive material posed a serious environmental and health risk. This led to a specific environmental analysis, also filed under the RDP 90 series. This is, quote, contamination assessment of strontium-90 thermal generator, if ruptured by natural force or sabotage, indicates a localized radiological hazard zone requiring specialized recovery protocols to neutralize. This quote underscores that Palladium was not just tracking spies, it was tracking radioactive hazards disguised as weather stations. Following the analysis of foreign stations, the CIA and the U.S. Navy initiated 2 immediate counter-Palladium strategies. 1. The search and neutralize mission. Teams were dispatched to sweep vast remote areas using sophisticated equipment. They weren't looking for conventional radio signals. They were hunting for the faint thermal signature of the RTG or the subtle magnetic anomaly caused by the core shielding. Palladium proved the technical specs necessary for this hunt. 2. U.S. replication of the technology. The intelligence community realized the operational value of the unattended platform was immense. Why should only the adversary have this capability? The U.S. began its own internal program to develop highly miniaturized hardened sensor stations for deployment in denied territories, incorporating lessons learned from the recovered foreign technology. The objective was clear. If the enemy could track U.S. assets in the high north, the U.S. must be able to track theirs in the east. Project Palladium ensured that the U.S. mastered the engineering of the silent, self-sustaining spy. Project Palladium confirms that the quiet technical war was a complex and costly and definitely overt political action. It was a victory of engineering, patience, and meticulous analysis over the vastness of the planet. We have finished the technical intelligence files. Now we are pivoting back to the deeply eccentric, mind-bending, and psychological. Next time we're diving into a file that exists at the intersection of mind control, counterintelligence, and pure psychological warfare. The Psychic Lure file. We will investigate the declassified memos often filed under foreign counterintelligence and psychological assessment series like CIA RDP 83, 0042 3R, detailing the CIA's deep concern that Soviet intelligence was attempting to identify, lure, and potentially control vulnerable Western psychics and scientists using unconventional means, perhaps even romantic deception or targeted psychological manipulation, with the goal of exploiting their unique gifts. This wasn't about the power of the psychic, it was about the documented strategy to exploit them. If the analysis of covert nuclear-powered spy stations satisfied your analytical curiosity, the documented plan to lure and control Western psychics for intelligence will bend your mind in ways you didn't think possible. The complexity and brilliance of this history is its own reward. I trust you found this briefing valuable and look forward to your continued engagement with this archive. I'll see you in the archives.